we've gone from goats, we're now going to talk about cows, because a trial involving cows in the UK, which aims to tackle climate change, has raised questions about misinformation following an uproar on social media.
Yeah, agriculture accounts for about 12% of greenhouse gases from the UK, with cattle in particular releasing large amounts of methane due to compartment in their stomach, which ferments digested food. Nice.
Yes. Arla, the farmer-run dairy cooperative, plans to reduce emissions by 30% per kilo of milk produced by 2030 and has launched a new trial to help them reach that target.
Yeah, so around 30 farmers, 3 supermarkets which buy Arla milk are involved in this trial, and it sees a dietary supplement called Bovaer being added to cows' feed. It works kind of like a digestive aid, basically, reducing the methane emissions, but it never passes into the cow's body or bloodstream. So that means no trace of it is actually found in their meat or in milk products.
The Food Standards Agency, as well as other European food safety bodies, have approved its use, but unfounded concerns posted on social media have led to some people calling for a boycott of Arla products. Our rural affairs correspondent Jenny Kumar reports.
Niall's family have been farming for generations. His passion drove him to continue the business, but now he's worried about the future of the industry.
It's been massive. Like I said, we've had a huge influx from messages, Facebook messages. We put a post out last Friday, basically saying we're not part of the trial. And
he says the trial of an additive in cow feed has created a public backlash he's never seen before, at a difficult time for the industry.
For us, we're under the pump as it is at the minute. This does worry me for the British dairy farmer, because I think you will see a knock in sales with the consumer in the supermarkets.
So what's going on? The dairy business Arla announced last week that around 30 farmers would trial Bovaer, a supplement in feed used to reduce cows' methane emissions. It's part of their plan to tackle climate change.
It works inside the stomach, in this case the rumen, and it affects the enzyme that the cow produces to digest the feed that a farmer gives the cow. And by affecting the enzyme, it reduces the methane that is produced by up to 30%.
The trial will look at how the additives can be rolled out across a larger group of farmers and how it impacts on farm operations. It's been approved for use here and in Europe, yet social media is awash with claims it's dangerous and calls to boycott the companies involved. The industry is worried about disinformation and has moved to reassure customers.
In the UK, we have a very robust process that licenses any foods that we are allowed to feed our animals. And this supplement that we're talking about today has indeed been through that process, providing farmers and consumers with the confidence that it is a product that's safe for us to feed our cow.
The Food Standards Agency says milk from cows given Bovaer is safe to drink. Bovaer has undergone rigorous safety assessments and is approved for use in Great Britain. Back in Devon on Niall's farm, sales of milk from his vending machine have increased 20% since the trial was announced last week. So what do his customers make of it?
The internet's got hold of it and blown it up into a massive to-do and it's affecting the whole industry. And this industry's had enough problems already recently with changes to inheritance tax. And
had you heard about the trial?
No, I hadn't. Yeah. I hadn't heard about the trial.
Do you think there's enough information out there about the trial?
And I would definitely, because I very much care what I put into my mouth and where it comes from and how local it is to me.
Can't go. Come on.
For Niall, this is more than a storm in a milk bottle. He feels there's a huge battle ahead to counter disinformation and to restore consumer confidence in the industry. Jenny Kumar, BBC News, Devon.
Well, let's talk some more about this. We're joined on the sofa by Arla Foods Managing Director Baz Padberg. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
We explained a little bit before the piece about how this works, but you're convinced it is working, it is reducing those methane emissions.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here and reassure the people at home that our products are are completely safe to use. And yes, we are very convinced that this product is working. The product, which is called Bovaer, it's not new. It's been used already by 200,000 cows at this moment in time for quite some years. So it's not new. It's completely safe, and very importantly, it doesn't get into the milk.
There has been quite a storm on social media, hasn't there? What can you say then to reassure those people who might have seen things that scare them?
Yeah, I understand their concerns, but as Arla Foods, we would never, ever jeopardize the quality of our product. We only work with completely science-checked and backed-up products for our foods. We would never, ever jeopardize the quality of our food.
So, I mean, it's one thing coming in, talking to us and our viewers this morning. We appreciate you coming in. What's it like sort of firefighting this kind of stuff? When it's on social media, a post pops up, it could get potentially shared to, well, the internet. How do you deal with that?
Yeah. Well, there's a very lively discussion at this moment about the climate crisis and the food industry that is out there. The way that we deal with it is that we will only work with products that are 100% safe and science-based, and taking opportunities like here today to come here and sit in your show to reassure the people that our products are safe.
Do you confront the sceptics, the critics on social media? Do you repost and say this isn't true, or do you try not to amplify it? It's hard, right?
Yeah, of course it's hard, but it's very important for us that we share with the people that our products are always based on science-based products. For us to actually, being here today is a very important statement to actually give the voice of Arla Foods to the people at home, and that it's all safe.
How much of a problem is the amount of methane that the cows produce?
Yeah. I mean, climate discussion is a very lively discussion at this moment in time, and it's very important for us that we actually reduce the methane that comes from the cows. Our farmers are working every day very hard to put food on the plate, and we are committed to reducing our emissions on farms, and Bovaer is one of the things that we're using together with our farmers to work on that.
It's one of the things. What other kind of measures could you come up with that would reduce emissions even more?
Yeah, I think the most important part with the cows, and it's like with humans, it's they have like a diet. They have an eating plate. They eat grass. They eat silage, they eat corn on that. So finding the right balance of the feed that they are eating is probably the most important part of reducing the emissions of the cow.
And when you speak to dairy farmers, what sort of reaction have they had to this social media story?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think it's actually very important that in these days that our farmers feel supported on what they're doing. They're working very hard every day. They put food on the plate of millions of people every day. So, of course, they feel frustrated about it because they're doing the right thing.
Baz, thank you very much indeed for coming in and talking about this. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much
Thank you very much
indeed for answering those questions.